So thank you for joining us for tonight's Grow with Google event, launching your business with customer-focused marketing. It is August 24th, 2021. My name is Stephanie Keener, and I am the Executive Director for the Virginia SBDC, which serves the city of Lynchburg, Amherst, Appomattox, Bedford, and Campbell counties. Locally, we are hosted at the Lynchburg Regional Business Alliance in downtown Lynchburg. We are a part of the Virginia Small Business Development Center. With 29 centers across the Commonwealth, we provide training and technical assistance to small businesses and entrepreneurs. The Virginia SBDC is headquartered at George Mason University and is a program that is a cooperative agreement between the U.S. Small Business Administration, premier institutions across Virginia, and our local governments. You can see some of our other webinars coming up at virginiasbdc.org and sbdclynchburgregion.org. You should also check out the Virginia SBDC's COVID Resources Recovery page. So tonight is our very last Grow with Google event in this series, and our leader throughout this program has been Nowona Evans. Nowona is what you get when you combine a left brain thinker and a creative soul. As an IT communications manager in the higher ed space, she is able to blend her love of marketing communications with her fascination with tech and teach others how to utilize both. Her biggest hope for the Grow with Google series is that you leave feeling empowered and excited to use technology to grow your business and reach your goals. And yes, we will be making a recording of today's webinar available. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type those into the chat window and we will get to those at the end of our presentation. So I am going to turn it over to you, Nowona, and we will get started. I am really looking forward to this presentation because this is one of the sort of newer events in the Grow with Google packet. And so I am excited to see what they're going to teach us tonight.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Stephanie, for that introduction. Welcome to today's workshop on how to launch your business with customer-focused marketing, brought to you by Grow with Google. As Stephanie said, Grow with Google is an initiative that helps people prepare for work, find jobs, and grow their business online. In this workshop, we're going to talk about the basics of customer-focused marketing to help you launch a successful business. In this workshop, you'll learn why marketing is so important. We'll introduce the customer journey and explain how your marketing can influence who does business with you. You'll learn how to reach prospective customers and build awareness of your brand, as well as how to engage your customers during their decision process to influence their consideration. You'll also learn the methods of conversion to increase the likelihood of purchase and how to sustain customer loyalty and encourage brand advocacy. And along the way, I will have some questions for you. So please feel free to use the chat feature for your answers and to pose any questions that you have. Now, let's start by talking about what marketing is and why the customer journey is a key element. Seth Godin, marketing guru, has a quote that says, "Great marketers don't make stuff, they make meaning." The job of marketing is to make your products and overall brand meaningful for your customers. That's what creates a customer base that is loyal to your brand and chooses your products or services over others. But how does that begin? So throughout the course of this presentation, I will come back to these two people, Shallon Thomas and Sharika Winter, who are the founders of a business called TW Tote. Shallon couldn't find a professional way to carry his lunch to work, and he tried everything, a paper bag, a plastic bag, and even a Velcro mail bag, but none of them reflected his personal style. He looked for a professional lunch bag online, and he couldn't find anything he was looking for at a reasonable price point. So he decided to take matters into his own hands, and TW Tote was born. Now, like most new entrepreneurs, Shallon and Sharika started out with passion and a great idea. They had the design and engineering skills and could build a product that people wanted, but they didn't know much about marketing. Many of their decisions were based on gut instinct, and that was a great start. They identified and created a product that met a real need, but they didn't know how to make their products meaningful for their customers. And they soon realized that they needed to be great at marketing too. They needed to establish a brand that would reach more customers, sell more products, and build loyalty. So a question for you guys is, how many of you guys already have a business idea? Type 1 in the chat if you have an idea, or 2 if you're still thinking about it. While you guys do that, at its core, marketing is an ongoing effort to create meaning for your customers. It answers questions like, why should customers buy from your company? What's in it for them? What makes your product, services, and company great? Why should they listen to your advice? And what's your backstory? Storytelling helps impart meaning to your products and brand. It can connect customers with your business on an emotional level. When customers buy from you, you want them to feel good about their purchases. Your marketing should be about building relationships, developing trust and credibility so that your customers want to buy from you. And staying in touch throughout the customer journey will help them think of you first. So what is the customer journey? It's the sum of the experiences customers go through when interacting with the brand. Awareness is the first phase, when a potential customer discovers you, maybe through word of mouth, a Google search, or an ad. Next, they may move into the consideration phase. This is when customers weigh whether they'll buy from you or your competitor, whether they'll buy your type of product or something similar, or whether they'll buy it all. If the customer decides to buy, they move into the purchase phase, and they may buy one thing or many things over a lifetime. Which brings me to the final phase, which is advocacy. This is when customers are so thrilled with their purchase and experience that they recommend your business to others. And at this stage in my life, I am a huge Target advocate. I've gone through all of the phases, and now I will shout my obsession with Target from the rooftops. That's where I am. That's where they've got me. So your job as a marketer is to influence customers at every phase of the customer journey. At the awareness phase, your marketing is focused on reaching your customers where they are so they become aware of your brand. During consideration, your marketing is about engaging your customers by answering questions and building relationships. In the purchase phase, your marketing is about influencing your leads, converting them into paying customers. And lastly, sustaining contact with customers who had a good experience can build loyalty and turn them into advocates. At every phase of the customer journey, you have the opportunity to persuade them to move forward with you. The better the marketing, the greater the influence, and the longer the journey. Now let's talk about the first phase and how you reach your customers and build awareness of your brand. The customer journey may begin when someone needs something and they turn to a Google search. It can also be triggered through word of mouth, advertising, trade show marketing, or other types of communication. No matter how your customers find you, they'll likely continue their research by searching for your business online. To reach prospective customers, you first need to understand who they are so you know how to reach them. You can start by identifying who needs your products, then build a brand that sparks their interest. And once you've defined your ideal market and built a solid brand, you can get your business online. And we'll talk about each of these concepts in more detail. So when it comes to identifying your customers, it's good to think about whose problems you want to solve. Who will want the products and brand experience that you'll create? Understanding exactly who your prospective customer is will guide your marketing. Your brand and products may be useful to just about anybody, but if you don't focus on your most likely customers, you'll spread your message and your money too thin. Market segmentation helps you narrow it. You can start with demographic segmentation, which includes things like age, gender, ethnicity, religion, income, and education level. And you also want to know about their interests, their values, personality, and lifestyle, and we call that psychographics. Geographics are location-based information, like what size and density of region or neighborhood they live in, what language they speak, and even the climate where they live. Lastly, behavioral segmentation involves understanding the frequency of your customers' purchases, their usage of your products, and the level of loyalty. Creating customer personas can give you a real picture of who you're trying to reach. Naming them and associating a photo are common marketing practices. So let's consider this customer persona. Metro Michaela is in her mid-30s, female, single, and lives alone in a large city. She's college educated and has a mid-level management job in the fashion industry. And she enjoys having her friends over to cook and drink wine. She dreams of traveling, but spends most of her time in the city shopping at local boutiques and farmers markets. How would you market a product to Metro Michaela? Think about how you would influence Michaela along the customer journey. What channels would you use to reach her? What type of imagery, words, or tone of voice would appeal to her? And what type of product attributes would be important to her? Once you identify your customers, it's time to create a brand that appeals to them. And branding is more than just your logos, color, graphic elements, and voice. A good brand identity connects emotionally to your prospective customers. Your logo design and brand colors will convey certain feelings and even inspire certain actions. Graphic elements communicate values and interests and should represent what your prospective customers aspire to. Your brand's messaging, tone, and voice do the same, helping to communicate what your brand is about, how it relates to them, and how it aligns with their values. These shared values and ideals create the basis of your brand. Before you choose a logo or colors, you need to define your values and ideals. TW Totes positions itself as a luxury but approachable brand, and they wanted their products to be accessible while meeting their standards for quality and style. They use these characteristics to describe who they are, what they want to be, and how they want to be perceived. These values can be written into a brand positioning statement that establishes the foundation for your marketing efforts. Your brand positioning statement is your North Star and can also be used externally in your marketing. It should include the customers you serve, what you offer and how it addresses your customers' needs, how you're the best at what you do, what differentiates you from your competitors, your brand promise or mission. Now, brand positioning statements need to be brief, clear, and memorable. Good branding creates a cohesive, powerful experience for your customers, and it begins here. Now, here's a template that you can use for your own brand positioning statement. The blue words are placeholders. Here's an example from TW Tote. Their brand statement is, they are for working professionals who need a stylish and functional bag. TW Tote provides fashionable insulated vegan leather totes because everyone deserves a luxurious and functional lunch bag the entire family can use. And I'll go back to the last slide just so you can kind of see what that looks like without their specific stuff in there. So here's a template, and I believe that you will receive this handout at the end. And the thing I love about brand positioning statements is that it cuts really clear into who you are targeting and what they value and how your company provides that value to them. So if you haven't done it before, I highly suggest that you create a brand positioning statement for your business. Now, once you've defined your prospective customers and designed a brand that speaks to them, it's time to get your business online. You may find an audience through existing platforms like social media, seller platforms like Etsy, or a directory site, which is often made for specific professions like accountants, plumbers, insurance agents, things like that. These existing platforms can help you reach specific customers, but using them is like renting an office. You don't own the space, you lease it. That means the owner can change the space, raise the rent, or even go out of business. So if you build your brand's presence only on leased platforms, you risk the chance of your sole connection to your customers being wiped at the whim of the platform. Leased platforms should only be used as a supplement to your own website. Now, building your own website ensures you own your online property. You have full control over its contents and how it behaves. You can also grow and customize it as your business grows. Also, your own website can be optimized for search engines that help people find you. Google also offers a way to get your business online by creating a free business profile. The business profile displays critical business information to searchers across Google Search and Maps and is optimized for different devices. This doesn't replace a website, but it can help you stand out in search results and drive potential customers to your site. Creating a business profile helps you control the details Google displays, like your business hours, contact information, store locations, photos, videos, and more. There are also built-in marketing features to communicate with your customers throughout the customer journey. And you can find out more about that by visiting google.com/business. Once customers discover your brand, some move into the next phase of the customer journey, consideration. Here you can guide customers through the process of evaluating your brand, engaging and influencing them to learn more about you. During the consideration phase, customers are deciding whether or not they want to do business with you. They're evaluating your brand compared to other choices and gathering information to help them decide what or if to buy. Your marketing strategy is to provide answers to their questions and other details to help them in their evaluation. Engaging your customers during the consideration phase is crucial. Learn about their needs and wants by listening to them, asking questions, and having meaningful conversations. Spend time communicating and delivering valuable information and content to your customers. Your goal during this phase is to build interest and desire in your customer so they want to develop a deeper and longer relationship with your brand. To learn about your customers, listen and don't make assumptions. Determine their pain points. The better you understand those needs, the better you can create solutions and communicate them. You can address the challenges your potential customers have with your particular industry, products, or with your brand specifically. Analyzing what customers are searching for online will give you insight into what they want and need. By listening and learning, you can figure out how to best serve your customers through your products and your content. You can use Google search to find out what your customers may be looking for. Often it's for solutions to their problems. How do your prospective customers search? What terms do they use that can connect them to your products or brand? Searches by TW Totes customers might be around fashionable work bags or style tips. These search terms become the keywords and keyword phrases that should be used regularly throughout your marketing. Most small businesses should have at least 5 and up to 30 keywords or phrases they know their customers use to search for their type of products and expertise. So a question for the chat is, have you identified keywords for your business? Type 1 if you have, or 2 if you haven't. And if you want to share them, feel free to do that as well. So whenever you enter a search query, you'll see a list of related searches at the bottom of the search results page. TW Tote could type professional lunch bag into the Google search bar and see what related searches come up. Those may be good words or phrases to use in their marketing. A free tool called Google Trends can also help you find keywords and ideas for new content. Google Trends will show you the relative popularity of different search terms on Google. If it has enough data, Trends can show a forecast of search volume and searches experiencing significant growth. You can use it to find and compare the popularity of different words and phrases, determine seasonality of different searches, and see where searches happen geographically. You can also use it to discover related search topics and queries. All this information can help you see what topics people are interested in and create relevant content to publish on your site. Now, once you know what your customer is looking for, it's time to give them what they want. The shift from listening to communicating begins when you share content that educates and inspires them. Your customers most likely don't know half of what you know about your industry, and even less about your specific brand and products. What can you teach them? What can you demonstrate or instruct them in? How can you help them, inspire them, and provide resources? Engage with customers by giving them valuable information that proves you're a credible source of information about your industry. Content that builds trust by sharing your expertise. This type of communication isn't about promoting your product specifically. It's about offering information that helps them with their research, essentially trading value for their attention. Now, you can share content, words, photos, videos through many different channels. You don't have to be on all of them, but you do have the opportunity to reach different audiences in different ways through different channels. Think of each of these channels as a means to share your content, to grab their attention in the place where your customer likes to spend time and learn. For example, TW Tote has a YouTube channel with commercial style videos talking about their product features. They also showcase special offers on social media and their blog. There are a lot of choices. Choose channels based on where your customers spend time and what best delivers the content you're sharing. Ultimately, you want to drive traffic back to your website and share content directly on your site. If you have a business profile on Google, you can use the post feature to share content that links back to your site. You can find out more at google.com/business. Whatever you can dream up that's interesting, entertaining, and educational to your prospective customers, stuff that's useful to them and not even necessarily about you, will engage them on these channels and help them evaluate you further. I know it sounds like a lot to ask. Just remember that you're sharing this content to attract them to your site and trade the value you provide for their attention. Now, no one wants to feel like they're being sold to. That's what scares so many businesses away from marketing. But as long as your marketing is customer focused and appropriate at each phase of the journey, you're actually sharing, not selling. So you want to provide opportunities for your customers to evaluate your brand and products through your content. One page on TW Tote's website describes how their products are made and what makes them special. You can do this with an FAQ page on your site or a comparison spec sheet to understand your different packages. You can create demo videos and educational webinars that help your customers evaluate your brand. Sampling and free trials are also ways to help customers decide whether or not they want to buy. You can encourage people to sign up for your email list. Through email, you can segment your audience and send personalized communications that continue nurturing your customer relationships during the consideration phase and lead to conversion for those who are ready. Communicating in this way with your prospective customers helps develop a relationship built on trust, credibility, and likability. These are things you earn by putting in the work we've talked about so far. Beyond sharing great content, you also need to spend time solving their problems, even the ones that come up before they become a paying customer. You can influence their consideration by having conversations, answering questions, and helping your customers evaluate you. Marketing during the consideration phase can be long and takes patience, but having a consistent content strategy and dedication to engaging your customers through a variety of channels will solidify a relationship that lasts. Now let's take a look at another real-world business to help us understand the third and fourth phases of the customer journey. Meet Tracy and Danny, the mother-daughter team behind Wicked Good Cupcakes. In 2010, they took cake decorating classes, and their passion became a business, and their first store opened in October 2011. As their reputation grew, they received hundreds of shipping requests, but they couldn't find a way to ship cupcakes and have them arrive fresh and intact. So they came up with a big idea: cupcakes in mason jars. By filling jars with layers of cake, frosting, and filling, the cupcake stays fresh for 10 days without refrigeration and can be shipped easily. News spread, and in April 2013, they debuted their product on Shark Tank in front of 10 million viewers. And then they became the go-to site to buy unique baked goods online. With an appearance on a popular TV show, they had achieved brand awareness and were actively engaging with their customers. Their next step was to focus on increasing purchases and turning customers into brand loyal advocates. It was time for them to do more marketing focused on the purchase and advocacy phases of the customer journey. And they also needed to learn more about their customers so they could better convert them. They needed to identify opportunities to improve their website and ways to make the entire experience, especially the checkout process, more efficient. They also needed to give their customers reasons to come back to the site, share their experiences with others, and eventually become brand advocates. So with the help of Wicked Good Cupcakes, we're going to talk about the last two phases of the customer journey and how your marketing can help convert more customers during the purchase phase and turn them into brand loyal customers during the advocacy phase. Now let's start with the purchase phase. Once your marketing has addressed the awareness and consideration phases of the customer journey, you should have some leads who have become prospects and are ready to become paying customers. In this phase, your job is to influence these leads and prospects to become paying customers, a process called conversion. To convert customers, you need to figure out which leads are most likely to become customers and focus your efforts on them. To do this, you need to identify the key customer actions that lead to conversion. Then share the right marketing messages and a timely call to action to encourage the purchase with those ready customers. Finally, you'll convert more customers when you streamline the purchase process and make it easy as possible for them. And we'll go over all of these in more detail. So how do you know where customers are in their journey? You look at their actions. Certain actions signal they are more likely to convert. And these key actions may vary depending on your business. Some common ones are signing up for your email list, completing a form like a request for a quote, downloading content like a product brochure or watching a video, signing up for a trial or demo account, downloading your app, calling you or emailing you to schedule a consultation, or placing a product in your shopping cart but leaving the site before making a purchase. It's important to remember that these key actions won't all be online. For Wicked Good Cupcakes, a key action could be visits to the cupcake truck offering samples. When they looked into customer actions, they saw that some web visitors were placing items in their shopping cart but not completing the purchase. That action signaled a higher interest level than just visiting the website. They identified these visitors and then sent them coupons, giving them a nudge to buy. Now think about your business. What customer actions can help you identify people who might be ready to become customers? Once you've identified customers ready to make a purchase, it's time to share content and calls to action designed to convert. As I mentioned earlier, Wicked Good Cupcakes sent coupons to people who abandoned their shopping carts. Your conversion efforts could include a discount or special deal like buy one, get one free, or an exclusive offer with more of a VIP feel. You could also send an invitation to special content like a webinar or event, or include customer testimonials that share more about your brand or product. And think about what else you could offer as a value-added service, like free shipping or a free tutorial with a product specialist. Present these value adds in a way that sounds compelling and time-sensitive. Good copywriting will go a long way in creating a persuasive call to action. You also need to decide where you're going to share this content with the audience you've identified as ready to convert. Consider marketing and advertising channels that let you reach this curated audience. You can use your email marketing platform as well as a digital advertising platform like Google Ads. Now, there are a lot of elements that go into conversion, but one of the easiest ways to convert customers is to make the purchase process as simple as possible. You can create a hassle-free online checkout experience by reducing the number of steps, offering guest checkout as opposed to requiring sign-in, providing value-added services or benefits with purchase, and ensuring that they feel great about what they're buying. When Wicked Good Cupcakes wanted to make it faster and easier for customers to complete their purchases, they reduced the total number of checkout steps. They also continually test other checkout options and tweak the process based on the results. For example, they added the option for customers purchasing cupcakes as a gift to record a personalized video that would be sent via email to the recipient. They then used Google Analytics to see how those changes affected their sales and made the necessary adjustments as the data came in. And I'll show you how to do this too. Ultimately, conversion works best when you've created a stellar experience at every touch point throughout the customer journey. Now we've talked about what you should do to convert customers. Now let's look at a tool that can help you accomplish it. Google Analytics is a free tool that can help you identify key customer actions that happen on your website. And it's one of the most popular web analytics platforms available. It allows you to connect a dashboard that measures information and tracks the customer journey on your website. Google Analytics will help you discover important information about your web visitors, like how do people find my site? What do customers interact with once they find me online? What demographic groups visit my site the most? What channel drives the most traffic? And which channels and actions drive the most conversion? Google Analytics can help you do better marketing throughout the entire customer journey. Specific to the purchase phase, Google Analytics provides insight into the actions impacting your conversion, helps you identify customers ready to convert, and lets you analyze your conversion processes so that you get more people to complete the actions important to your business. Another Google tool that can be useful for driving conversion is Google Ads. One of the advantages of digital advertising is the ability to deliver specific content to specific groups of people. This lets you show ads to the right people at the right time, making it more likely they'll convert into paying customers. For example, you can use Google Ads to put sales messages and incentives in front of people searching for products like yours. Ads can appear on Google search results and many other websites like YouTube. There are many formats available like text ads, image ads, shopping ads, and video ads to name a few. There are also special types of campaigns. One you may recognize, even if you've never heard of it, is called remarketing. In these campaigns, your ads can appear to a potential customer after he or she visits your website. When you connect your Google Ads and Google Analytics accounts, you're able to create ads directly from your analytics data and learn more about the impact of your ad campaigns. And just to note, it's not in the presentation, but it's pretty similar to if you have like a Facebook account. You can do all of the stuff through there as well. Now, we're on to the final phase of the customer journey, which is advocacy. As in the other phases, you can influence your customers' actions through focused marketing that sustains loyalty and encourages them to recommend you to others. By giving your customers more to consume and making their experiences great, you can sustain their business and earn their loyalty. Loyal customers think of your brand over all others. This will help encourage them to promote your brand and products to people they know, helping you reach new customers. Now, have you guys been an advocate for a business you love? Type 1 for yes or 2 for no. And feel free to share what that is in the chat. Now, of course, all customers are not created equal. A customer who stays interested and engaged with your brand and continues doing business with you has a lot of value to your business. So how do you create more of these types of customers? By providing more value to them. You might do this through consistently excellent customer service, new products, as well as different programs and incentives. Ultimately, you want to keep your customers happy, engaged, and buying from you. Happy customers will often naturally tell others about their experiences, but you can also nudge them to do this more with some focused marketing. You can identify customers who are ready for this phase based on the number of purchases they've made, how long they've been a customer, and if they're speaking out on social media about your brand. Building this type of customer loyalty can be done a number of ways and relies on the entire customer experience being stellar up to this point. If they didn't have a good checkout experience, had trouble with the product, or didn't get the help they needed, or felt ignored and even unsatisfied with their experience or interactions, it will be hard to turn them into brand loyal advocates. At this phase, you want to focus on deepening your relationship with your customers, getting to know them, letting them get to know you, and keeping them happy and engaged. You can do this by staying in touch through whatever channels make sense for your specific business. Share content that's valuable to your paying customers, product tutorials, video guides, and new product launch info. Provide top-notch customer service will positively impact customer loyalty. So think about these questions. Do your customers get the help they need? Are you providing all the answers to their questions? Do they feel great about their purchases and interactions with your brand? If you don't know the answers to these questions, it's time to get some feedback. Asking your customers how you're doing or what you can do better is highly valuable information for you and will let them know that their opinion matters. And it will help you to continually improve your offering, service, and overall brand, which will also help build customer loyalty because they'll know you're listening and you care. Lastly, think about how you can delight your customers in unexpected ways to further deepen your relationship and differentiate you from your competitors. Loyalty programs and incentives will help you sustain the customer loyalty you've built by helping them feel special. You could create a loyalty program based on VIP and exclusivity, something that offers special product sneak peeks or videos to help them understand your products better. Your program can also offer special discounts and perks like occasional coupons or a points reward system. Personalization will go a long way, so you may also want to consider things like setting personalized notes with purchases or special offers on birthdays and anniversaries. One thing that my dentist office does is there's so many dentist offices around town, but the thing that stuck out to me with this specific one is that on my birthday, they sent out an email that says happy birthday with my name in it. Nothing special, no discounts or anything, but it meant something that I'm like, oh, I've never had a dentist office email me on my birthday. Something so small, but I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stick with you guys because you care. Even if it's really small, it was like a huge deal to me that they do that. So loyalty and sustaining it doesn't always have to be at a cost to you too. Sometimes people just want to feel special. Once your customers feel taken care of, even delighted, they'll be more open and encouraged to recommend your brand to people they know. This is so powerful because your current customers most likely associate with people within the same target market, making their friends and connections your next best customers. In fact, 92% of consumers trust word of mouth recommendations over other types of marketing, and customers referred by other customers have a 37% higher retention rate. These are important reasons to not just focus on sustaining loyalty, but encouraging advocacy. Happy customers will naturally spread positive word of mouth. Of course, the opposite is also very true, which is why you want to create an excellent customer experience. You can help your customers spread the word by putting opportunities to advocate your brand in front of them. Start by asking your customers to leave you online reviews. Consider asking your best customers for testimonials or permission to make their experience with you into a case study. You can also create referral programs that incentivize your customers to pass along messages and offers to their friends. Contests and social media sharing opportunities with prize incentives are also a great way to help them help you. Encouraging customers to leave you a review on Google and interacting with them through your business profile is a great way to start. Your happy customers become advocates for your business through the reviews they leave, which become a great way for new customers to learn about you in a way they trust. Responding to your reviews in a timely and professional manner shows customers that your business listens to feedback and can positively influence potential customers. And keep your replies short and sweet. You can use it as an opportunity to share more solutions and resources with your customers, or to just simply say thanks. You can definitely ask a customer to leave your review, just avoid offering incentives to do so. Your replies are a simple but powerful way to build loyalty and encourage advocacy. And your customers are not the only ones who can become brand advocates. Employees, partners, and vendors are great candidates for brand advocacy. Even if they aren't actual customers, they have intimate knowledge of your brand and can be encouraged to advocate for you. And of course, paid influencers and affiliates are another form of advocates. Influencers are typically people who have influence among your target audience, and the content they share is in line with your brand. Affiliates are typically people in your industry who have a wide reach or a lot of traffic on their website. So take the time to identify your advocates and unleash their advocacy powers. Now, that was a lot, but we have come to the end of the customer journey. As you can see, there is a lot of marketing you can do to influence the customer journey to ensure your potential customers become aware of you, consider you fully, purchase something, and become brand loyal advocates. Customer-focused marketing for the awareness and consideration phases of the customer journey starts by defining who your customers are and creating a brand that speaks to them. You'll need to get your business online in order for your customers to reach you and research you. And spend time listening to prospective customers and learning about them so you can communicate effectively and deliver valuable content. All of this works to develop strong relationships with your customers in the hopes they move into the next phases of their journey. In the last two phases of the customer journey, your marketing is focused on converting your customers and turning them into brand loyal advocates. Not all of the people who show initial interest in your brand will move to these phases, so it's important to identify key actions that someone in the consideration phase would take that would likely lead to a conversion. Then, you want to identify those customers so you can share timely calls to action that pave the way to a purchase. You'll want to make sure the purchase process is streamlined and easy so you don't lose someone in the process. And once you've landed a customer, keep them happy and satisfied to build their customer loyalty. Implement programs and incentives to sustain their loyalty and encourage their advocacy among everyone they know. You can also create advocacy programs among other people like employees and influencers. And ultimately, their advocacy will lead to more customers entering the awareness phase of the customer journey, keeping the pipeline filled. Now, if you want to grow your digital skills, no matter where you're located, through online workshops, you can learn skills that can help you stay connected and productive. And you can do that by visiting g.co/growonair. And you can register for free virtual workshops that enhance your digital skills. Now, if you want to sharpen your business and marketing skills, I highly recommend Primer. It's a free app that you can download to your phone, and it has a series of short, fun lessons that are all less than 5 minutes each. You can just access that at g.co/primer. Lastly, this workshop is brought to you by Grow with Google, an initiative that helps people prepare for work, find jobs, and grow their business. Job seekers can grow their skills in order to find new jobs and advance their careers. Teachers can learn how to put the latest technology to work inside and outside the classroom. Small business owners can build their online presence and find new customers. Startups can learn how to get their ideas the exposure they need to succeed. And developers can sharpen their current skills and master new ones. And to learn more, visit google.com/grow. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat.
Yeah, or I think it's probably fine if you want to unmute and ask a question. There are just a few of us, so I don't think it'll get too out of hand. So feel free to go ahead and do that. I will say, Nuana, one of the things that I, talk to clients about a lot is, folks who come into the SBDC, we're often talking to folks about the difference between demographics and who their customer really is. When folks start with a business plan, they come in and they're like, my typical customer is a 45-year-old woman who is college educated and lives in the 24503 area of Lynchburg. And, getting folks to really think about who that customer is a big difference between, those demographics and those psychographics, right? Or creating that customer. So I am wondering how you feel about that. Anne is asking if we'll get the recording. Yes, you will get the recording. We'll send you a YouTube link.
I would say that having a mixture of all of those elements is because you can create an ideal customer in your head, but it might not be realistic to where you live. So you can say, my ideal customer is a metropolitan, such and such who likes luxurious bath salts. I don't know. I just came up with something random, but that's not who is purchasing from you or even who is like looking at your stuff. So you have to be realistic, like, okay, what's typical of my customers that are buying and are liking my stuff? It might look a little bit different than what you originally had in mind, but then from there you can reconfigure your marketing to what speaks to them. And remembering that you also have to take into consideration their values. So like, okay, what do they value? What is their expendable income? Like, where do they live? Who are their friends? So getting a little bit deeper than just your standard, they're such and such and they live here and they live here. It's like, also, what do they spend their money on? Why do they like this product or service? Is it a need? Is it a want? Is it a once a year purchase for them? Is it a monthly purchase for them? And getting a little bit deeper into who they are, why they like your product, which is why asking questions is a very big thing, and like listening to your customer to kind of determine that stuff.
I love that Google tool where you can go and see what Google searches are trending.
Yes. Google Trends, g.co/trends. It's really, really cool.
You can even get down to metropolitan area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go and see sort of like what's in our local area. What are people searching for? And I know that we'll remind folks that, so when you go to this YouTube link, our other 5 offerings that we've done in this program will be up on YouTube as well. And that includes the Get Your Business Online with Google Search and Maps, and the other programs that we've done throughout the course of the summer, which are fantastic. So you can be all Googled up. You can always come in and just make an appointment if you need, or just make an appointment at the SBDC if you need any additional help. I always like to, especially with this one, since this is about launching your business, we have a whole series of programs at the SBDC that's called Start Smart. That's really focused on those early stage, or maybe you're just thinking about a business. Those are really the classes for you. But we always talk about this one business in New York called CW Pencil Enterprise. And when we talk about thinking about your target market, right? And, you know, can you guess what CW Pencil Enterprises, what she sells? What does she have at her shop? It is pencils only. She's recently added some stationery, but she mostly only carries pencils, no pens. And I always say, she's paying Manhattan real estate prices with a pencils only shop. Do you think she could pay downtown Lynchburg prices with a pencils only shop? No. We just don't have enough of those customers here, but we do in New York City. You know, there are a lot of artists and very specialized writers there who need very specialized writing instruments. And so, you know, she has the customer base there for her. So it's really important to know beyond demographics, right? Who those people are and what they're doing. So who your target customer is. So I love this. Any questions, you guys? You just feel so educated. Okay, well, we will let you go. Be on the lookout for the follow-up email tomorrow. I'll make sure that we will add in the worksheet that was mentioned, that we pull that out from the slides. But you do get the YouTube link. Make sure you check out what else is coming up at sbdclynchburgregion.org, at virginiasbdc.org. We have lots of great training for your small businesses, even beyond Grow with Google. And thank you so much for being here. It really means a lot to us that you're here. I will tell you the secret. That at SBDCs, we actually had like about 30 people signed up for tonight's event, and we're not allowed to count you as an attendee if you don't actually come to the event. So I really appreciate you guys sticking with us and being here and hanging out with us, because it really just helps support the SBDCs and the work that the SBDCs do in our community for our small businesses and entrepreneurs. It's really important. So thank you for hanging out with us, and we will catch you on YouTube. You can see all this stuff. We'll see you again soon. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.